Don't adjust your television sets or your computers or your phones. I don't think you can adjust your phone. But anyway, this is not Max Wrestling. This is not a brand new episode. This is Kicking It with the TSK Full Gear. It just happened, and we're here for you to make your Monday mornings, or your Mondays, I should say, overall, that much better. It's DC. It's Rob. It's Harold. Harold has returned. The TSK is in full capacity. Oh, my goodness gracious. It now could not be a better time.
The full four.
That's right, the full force, if you want to get fancy. Talking Full Gear, we've got a lot of pay-per-views to talk about. We're probably going to cover Survivor Series as well. And then, just because I'm kind of liking it, we might drop in some NXT. But that's not today. This is Full Gear. This is today. Didn't watch any of the pre-show. I'm going to stop pretending like I watched the goddamn pre-show.
Me either.
So I want to jump right into the main, because there was a lot of things that happened that made sense. I've got a lot of questions coming out of this show, and I have a lot of why didn't we do this? So let's hop into it and let's see if we all feel on the same boat. The show actually opened up with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match. Private Party versus the Outrunners versus the Acclaimed versus the Kings of the Black Throne. House of Black, if you get confused. Malachi Black and Brody King. Oh my God, I was really going to say Aleister Black, and I was going to try to say it was Aleister Black again. And not only what was his WWE name?
Aleister Black.
It was Aleister Black. Yeah.
Aleister Black.
I was gonna say, I did say Aleister Black. Malachi Black. You see, I did say it. That's what I was gonna fuck. I was like, why am I saying Black twice? I already messing it up. Speaking of things that got messed up, was this supposed to be better than what it was? Because like, the Kings of the Black Throne got all the love, which they should have. I felt that now is a decent time, and I know, yes, Private Party just won the titles. We talked about this on Max, that it is a little too early to get rid of them. But they're doing squat, fuck all with the House of Black. And they're sitting right there. It's a prime opportunity for them to get a win, to get the momentum, to build off of something. Make your fucking tag team division a tad bit interesting. I don't know, just something. And
I mean, at least Buddy Murphy won his match.
Hey, on the pre-show.
Wow.
On the pre-show.
On the pre-show. But no, instead, in this one, they were the aggressors for the first 8 minutes, and then somebody said, go lay down. And that was the last we seen of them. That was it. We didn't see them for the last, I want to say, 8 minutes of the match. The first half they were there, the first half it might as well have been a fucking triple threat. The Outrunners had more of a chance of winning than the House of Black. They were taking the longest nap there's ever been to take a nap.
Yeah.
And it just makes me immediately start to question, then what's the point? What was the point? I mean, I know you just needed teams out there, but if you just needed teams to lose, there's not some other... What are the guns doing? You know what I mean? Like, where's some other jerk-off team at? You're wasting two guys that, in reality, in WWE land, you're getting broken up. And they would actually both make good singles. But here, they're floundering, not only as a faction, but now as a tag team. I'm cutting off the whole thing because I'm so angry about House of Black, but I can see from all the head nodding that I'm not in the boat alone.
No, definitely not in the boat heading to the Lonely Island by yourself on this one. We've all been saying for months, almost, I want to say years now,
at this point,
that House of Black, as a trio, as a tag team, any variation of a tag team, singles competitors, these guys should be at the top of the mountain in any and every division. And yet, here we are.
You know, I'd like to point out, it makes you wonder if maybe they aren't on their way out. I know Malachi did the video where he said he's not retiring, he's not leaving. Well, and maybe that's the case, but I'd also like to point out he was injured for a bit. He was out for about 6 months with an injury, if I'm not mistaken. And what happened to Ray Phoenix when he said he was leaving?
Yeah.
Tony said, I got you for a whole nother year.
And as of right now, he ain't done shit. So
if I'm working for AEW, if I'm a wrestler there, I'm thinking, well, if I'm on my way out, am I going to bide my time and keep my mouth shut? Which is what, Lucha Bros should have done, thank you, Conan. Keep your mouth shut.
Conan's
Your
fault.
contract ends,
Conan.
and you're free and cleared. Think about it. With the exception of Brody King, everybody in House of Black basically has a connection to WWE, either through having worked there or a significant other. Buddy has Rhea. Malachi has Zelina. Now imagine this. Imagine House of Black going back to WWE, taking over Judgment Day.
I don't hate it.
Because they're doing a fuck all with that right now.
That's true. Just kind of expecting that to be a broken up faction by now, but if for some reason it's still there. Harold,
I would say
I think they've broken up. They just don't realize they've broken up.
yeah, it's headed that way.
But seriously, think about what they could do with that.
Tony said, "I'll pay you
you.
to sit and do nothing.
I'll pay you.
To sit and do nothing."
Absolutely nothing.
Please don't leave me.
Harold, tell me why is it that this specific faction, for whatever reason, is being wasted? Is there any particular reason?
Honestly, it comes down to it's got to be two things. One of two things. It's either they are not moving merch when given the opportunity, or I think what is more likely is there's a lack of faith in them staying past contract status. So there's just really no reason to push them. They want to be used, so maybe Tony's like, all right, well, you're just going to job out the rest of your contract. And they're like, that's cool as long as we're on TV. Maybe that's the deal. Who knows?
The business aspect pokes his head
Did
in.
not think about that, because now that I think about it, when's the last time you've seen a new House of Black shirt or any of the single guys, new merch?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything, haven't heard of anything. Then again, they're rarely on television, unfortunately. But outside of the House of Black being completely and totally disrespected, for lack of better terminology, the main story of this was Max Caster's potential heel turn. And he's literally he's forcing his tags to go in there. He's taking forever to make pins. He's literally just being an asshole.
He fucking threw the mic at Bowens, bastard.
He threw the mic. He's proclaiming himself, and I've been hating this for as long as he's been doing. He's been proclaiming himself as the best wrestler in the world. I don't know what the fuck the frills on the bottom of the pants are. I think that's new. I'm pretty sure that's new. Is that supposed to be like Macho Man? Ultimate Warrior?
I haven't heard any explanation of it, but to be honest, I've been so burnt out. I haven't been keeping up with Collision or Rampage or any of that, so I don't know if that's been a development in that respect.
Your guess is as good as mine, brother.
So it started when MVP handed him the card.
This is the truth.
Yeah.
And Bowens was just basically, for lack of a better term, what are you doing? We don't need him. And Bowens is like, maybe we do. And that's where the dissension began.
It's not working out for him. For me, I thought this was a shocking win. Private Party end up hitting Gin and Juice on Caster. They pick up the wins, retain the tag team titles. Again, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to crown any one of them. Any one of these guys would have worked. You could have crowned the Acclaimed.
I think you called that finish, didn't you, Dan? Or Mike did, or somebody did.
I think it was Dan.
Caster was getting. Mike did too, but
I did it first.
Caster, yeah.
There it is. He did it first. I love it.
That's what she said.
And if you're not first, you're last.
She also said that. But
I was thinking that with this match, I couldn't help but think that it was an attempt to progress the tag division and kind of give everybody a little taste of each team. Hopefully it leads to AEW building a little bit for each team and not just using the exposure for nothing. which likely is what it is going to do because they never seem to do the right thing nowadays. But
I think what they're trying to do is I think they see that the tag division fell off for a while.
Oh, yeah.
A good while. And I think they're trying to slowly build it back up. Much what WWE has been trying to do with their tag division. They've been trying to build it back up. And honestly, tag team wrestling has always been one of my personal favorites. I mean, WWE's tag division right now, at least on SmackDown, is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And I think what they're trying to do now is they are trying to build that back up because AEW, despite their faults, they still have a lot of really good tag teams.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they
and
do.
I think this is what they are trying to do is to slowly reestablish it and make people care like we used to.
It was a big focal point at one time. Actually, it was the preferred company for tag team.
I was going to say it was the focal point.
You know, and I think this kind of resurgence of the tag team division is definitely needed. But just to kind of piggyback of what Dan said about the WWE tag team division, you had the Bucks who defended the titles I think a total of 3 times in 6 months, 5 months, something like that.
100 days, something like that.
Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDooner have been champs for 150 days and have had 1 defense.
On TV, at least, because those are the only ones that count.
Yeah, those are the ones that matter, apparently. But what are we doing with tag team wrestling all across the board? Like, we got to get it together here.
Taking off massive holidays in between. Massive holidays. Very quickly, before we move on to the next one, I do want to ask Harold this, because the boys are right. The tag team the tag team division has obviously gotten a reset button. But is Private Party the right tag team champions to run this reset?
I think that's a good question. I think it's partly because it sets up whoever comes next with a solid victory. Like, whoever their next big opponent is, we know that they're the ones that are going to take the titles off of Private Party. I don't see Private Party having a lengthy reign at all. Probably next pay-per-view, I would assume, would
World's End, right?
Yeah, World's End, possibly. They might be able to stretch it out to Double or Nothing if they're lucky, but I doubt it.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening, but I think I think they're a layup for the next team, essentially. Which...
A transition team.
It could have been anybody. I think it could have been Dark Order. I think it could have been somebody like... there's one other team I'm forgetting, but I was thinking there's another team that could be in this position. LFI.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Death Riders.
Hey.
Death Riders, they got a team. Yeah, it could have been something like that, but I think they went with Private Party, like I said, just as a layup.
A layup, that's for
sure. And I think it was also lip service to the fans. I mean, how long have we been saying Private Party? Give them a chance. And, I think this is okay,
That's why I said it could have been a Dark Order type thing, too, because I think Dark Order would have had the same vibe, finally an AEW original after all this time kind of thing.
True.
I dig it.
I mean, how often did we clamor for Dark Order?
Dark Order,
for a while, they were hot.
They were so hot, and now poor Stu Grayson got fired twice.
Fucking Stu.
How dare you?
How dare you? All right, let's hop into the next one. MJF, Roderick Strong. I do want to ask this simple question before I break it down. Could we have done this on Dynamite?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Just glad we're all in the same boat. Other than that, I did like it. MJF, his thing is having banners. It was the American flag for a little bit. Now it's banners. Probably because Trump won, so I don't blame him. This one says, "Thank me later." I don't really know for what, but we get into the match. It's a good match. You know what I mean? It's Roderick Strong against MJF. MJF can kind of work with anybody. Same goes for Roderick. And it's one of these. It was they were working over. It was Roddy's arm or whatever. It was gotten hurt, and he kept working it over and working it over. That was the whole point, trying to get him to the salt of the earth, which. That was the shocking part, is because Roderick Strong being this, submission wrestler, this mat-based guy, there's no way he's going to submit to MJF's, submission move. Which, by the way, I think a lot of people forgot that was his submission, that was his finish, because, when he was a good guy, he was doing the dumb shit like the kangaroo kick, and I think he was doing like a brain buster for a little bit. And now he's back to this, because it stinks of a heel. And I think that added to the whole, we didn't know that was the ending. So again, good match, felt weird, should have been on Dynamite.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh.
For a lot of people. Roderick Strong carried this match.
Like a mofo.
MJF is good. MJF did his thing, but what made this match, anytime I went, wow, or anytime I went, whoa, that was dope, it was Roddy. Roddy hitting his usual repertoire of backbreakers and different things like that. He threw in a nice little reverse fireman's carry into a turnbuckle bomb that was just... I just felt like Roddy made this match stand out just a little bit more than it would have.
I agree with that, actually. Not as controversial as you thought, but
all right, film it, play it.
Well, no, I mean, in retrospect, we know that MJF is a good worker. However, there are times he's not. I don't think he's. Well, it depends on the situation. Depending on who his opponent is, he has the ability to carry a match, but Roderick Strong he's 18, 19 years in the business. And
something like that.
And he's been one of the best around for the last 10. So, I mean, you went in there with a top dude who is more of a comedy thing right now because he likes to yell people's name, which is still funny, but a little ditzy respecty. But it was good. Again, it was a good thing. It was a good match, and yeah, Roderick. I'm kind of inclined to agree with you that Roderick carried it. DC, are we all in agreement at this point?
Absolutely.
Yes, sirs. Yeah. We're all gonna do it. Yes, sir. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. It's what it is. Which I guess that kind of leads me into asking. Does that just mean MJF's not up to snuff? Is he not fully healthy? Is this a problem for MJF?
It seems like since he's been back, I don't know. He just seems different. Like his in-ring work just, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. It just seems different to me.
Seems different, okay. Rob, it's the broke hip, no? Well, it was broke hip? Was it broke hip?
It wasn't broken. Severely bruised. Possibly fractured.
Hey.
But I think Max's focus is kind of all over the place right now because, he's been making the films and doing the movies and stuff.
That's right.
Got himself a girlfriend,
Hey.
A lot of distractions,
Harold distractions?
Before the match started, I noticed he said something like, I'm not as happy as you or something like that to work for this dog shit company in this dog shit city. And the dog shit company dig, we've heard it a number of times from MJF, but sometimes I think there's a little truth to it, and you can hear it a little bit in his voice. And I honestly think maybe the fact that ratings have gone down so much is kind of discouraging to him. I think he thought when he came back, energies or ratings are going to shoot back up. People miss me. I think he felt like he attributed a lot to the higher ratings, and they're just not there anymore.
Well, I think to build on what you were saying, Harold, I think part of the problem is he came back and immediately turned heel again.
Yeah.
People didn't want that.
Yeah.
No, he was beloved.
This whole thing with Adam Cole being the good guy, just because MJF wanted to be the heel again, heel again. I feel like there was more to do for him as a face. Like, honestly, this whole Death Riders thing, having MJF be the savior of AEW,
that would have worked.
You can't tell me that wouldn't have been a compelling story.
Hey, I like that.
He is one of the pillars. He is one of the pillars, whether people want to believe that one or not. So, speaking of one of the things that...
good.
Yes, sir. Post-match, MJF brings a chair into the ring. He goes to Pillmanize the arm of Roderick Strong. Does it. I don't know why nobody came out. Then everybody comes out. It's like Adam Cole, Mike Bennett, Mac Taven. And then I want to say, after those three dudes come out, then Kyle O'Reilly comes out. I know why he's mad, but he's over there like shoving on Adam Cole. You're late, motherfucker. Like, you were later than everybody else. Like, how are you going to say, like, you're late? And then all you bastards were late. This guy fucking sang a song by the time he put the goddamn chair on his arm. He sang a song, had a dance, had a wank, as they say in the UK. And nobody. Nothing. Not anybody's music. Nothing. So, Roderick's obviously going to be out for a little bit. Now we have tension between friends in Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. I guess this is what we're doing with Adam Cole upon his return.
So, Mo, what you're saying is he had a typical Saturday night for the TSK?
Hey-o. Minus the broke arm. No broke arm.
No.
Broke arm.
Melker, bro.
Hey.
But there was a lot going on there because, Kyle O'Reilly's over here with the conglomeration.
Yeah.
Undisputed Kingdom is over here doing what they're doing. And then Adam Cole and
Matt Taven. Sorry.
It's like all the ghosts of AEW's start and stop booking catching up with each other. And like running into each other in the hallway awkwardly because they've been written off TV.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, excuse me. See, I think the reality is we all kind of are slowly seeing all the issues that AEW is running into. We're probably going to have to come up with a TSK fixes AEW. Maybe that'll be a little special. We'll figure that. Maybe for the end of the year. Maybe something cool like that.
That could be a whole series.
It could be a whole series. So then maybe we start it next month. We'll figure it out. Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander for the TBS title. I'm not cringing. I'm not cringing at saying this. This is the first time since she's been here a year, right? At least a year, almost a year.
Really?
Mercedes Moné.
It'll be a year in February, I think.
Okay. I could have sworn it feels longer. That's what it is. It just feels longer. Like it was just, make fucking bad days at school. It just felt like it goes on forever. And this is the first. She's had good matches by noticeably having somebody carry her or doing exactly what she says and only what she says. This one felt like there was chemistry. Somehow, Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné had proper chemistry. They worked super well together. There's some stiffness to Mercedes' game. I swear to God, her stomps are never pulled. Like, she will legit stomp a hole into you if she can. Other than that, the Meteors are stiff as fuck. So that sucks. But this felt super well worked. It wasn't so one-sided where it was a dominant showing. You could see that Chris Statlander was on the level, if you will, as a Mercedes Moné, if not probably surpassing it because, I thought it was just that good. But this, again, the first time, and this is why I'm getting lost in my own words, because I don't remember the last time I praised Mercedes for anything. anything since her name change. So it's good on her. This was a good match. She's still TBS champion, which makes me think, who, if there's anybody that's chilling in the back, who is the one to bring it up? DC, you're dying for it. Go ahead.
I said it earlier today in the Discord chat, and I'll say it again. It's gonna be Camille. I don't see how people can't see that happening a mile away. The way she's treating Camille, it's the story that so many companies have done so many times. WWE did it years ago with Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash.
It's so underwhelming.
A lot of their storylines lately have been. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're not. Which trust is one of the things we bring up, but it just. Rob, is he right? Well, is there any more to this?
I mean, they've kind of made Camille look like a fucking dork.
Thank you. There's that.
I'll say it. Camille signed with the wrong company.
Yeah, they did not help her.
I mean, if they're going to put the TBS title on her, they're going to have to make her believable again. But, my thought with Julia Hart coming back, that she would be the one to take it off Mercedes.
See, that's a good one.
They've had that interaction. So, I mean, there's somewhat of a story there already.
There's that. I like that.
Why Julia's
Unless
going after...
Julia goes after Mariah May.
I would prefer
Mariah
that.
May started this whole... Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
As far as the match goes, I gotta say, I rewatched Mercedes and Stat this morning, and it was even better the second time around. Fantastic match by both. Statlander is just real smooth, I feel, and I feel like that's where a lot of the chemistry came from. Like you said, Mercedes can be kind of stiff, which I think makes some of her movement look a little jerky in execution. And Statlander, I feel like, was fluid enough to kind of fill in a lot of those voids, kind of roll around the cracks, so to say, in the circle of the performance they were putting on.
There we go.
Yeah, it was solid. I dug it.
Now, let me ask you guys a question to see, because I was thinking about this. We all know how good Statlander is.
Yes.
Could Statlander be moved up to the main women's title?
One condition.
Hey,
they have to figure out if they're going to keep her face or heel, because turning every 30 days is.
So
they're going to big show her.
Rob, what you're saying is it shouldn't make her the Big Show of AEW.
Please
don't. Hell no, son.
And Big Show works for AEW, so.
No BS.
Oh my goodness gracious! But into the match, this was one of those. It was Chris Statlander's knee was being attacked, and I want to say Mercedes' knee at the same time was being. It was either a knee or her arm was being a focal point, and I didn't see the big knee braces on Statlander. It could have been under her gimmick or whatever, but I just didn't see him.
The new gear she had makes it look like she's not wearing them.
Okay, good, because I was just like, oh, crap, do not be taking those kind of bumps, those fucking bad knees of hers. Thank God she obviously wasn't. But temper tantrums. Chris Statlander refused to stay down. She would get hit with everything. She would escape the old finisher, the bank statement. And all it would do is drive Mercedes fucking batshit crazy. She's throwing tantrums in the ring. They're literally counting them every single time that she throws another tantrum. She ends up hitting the Three Amigos, which is one of the first times I've actually seen her swing her hips when she does it. So finally good for her. She goes up, hits a frog splash. She gets caught. There's like the F5, which I really popped for. That Statlander was going to pick up a win. She goes for a 450, crashes and burns. Obviously hits the knee. That's when there was a frog splash to the knee, and then she hits her weird whatever dumbass finisher that actually finally looked okay, and again retains the title. Yeah. So again, there's many. I've been curious of where I know we had already talked about like Julia Hart and probably a handful of other people that could be good. But I've been curious where the fuck Deonna Purrazzo has been this entire time. She was supposed to be.
It's on 0 Hour with Anna Jay.
Yeah, she lost to Anna Jay.
Oh, come on! But you see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Like, she was a major... I have to do the quotes because obviously it wasn't that big of a signing. But she was a major signing for AEW. She came in as the hottest women's free agent there was. I'm not saying you're better off in the E, but at this point...
She wasn't.
Fucking hell. Oh, no, not originally.
I think she was on ROH. Her and Taya are starting a faction or something. I forget what it's called. But they got a little faction going.
A little faction. Okay. I'll take a little faction.
The Vendetta.
There you go. That's a weird one. But okay. I like it. The Vendetta. Speaking of ones that I liked, Switchblade Jay White, Hangman Adam Page. These guys have history. I love bringing it up every single time. And it's New Japan kind of history. You know what I'm saying? Every time they clash with each other, it's been in an arena where they can just beat the dog shit out of each other. And that's what they did here. They beat the absolute shit out of each other. Very reminiscent of the and I keep bringing it back, the San Francisco match. You know what I mean? The one that they had that they involved JR. I swear to God, the next time he's ever out there, I feel they're going to do it. They're going to bring him up. Is Hangman losing his luster? Or is he just like a stepping stone?
Nah, you know what, Hangman? This whole Descent into Madness character has been, at least from my point, has been kind of refreshing. Because the Hangman we've known for the last probably 8 or 9 years has been the same clean-cut cowboy,
happy-go-lucky.
Yeah. It's been different. But you know what? If they need him to, shave the stash and become the anxious millennial cowboy again, he could probably do it like that.
Yeah.
He's just he added this another layer to his character, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, very much the reluctant hero type character that they can rebuild. I think I want to believe he is adding a dynamic to his character, kind of showing that when you go this route, this descent into madness, that it may not really pay off, especially if your destiny is to be the hero kind of cowboy, which he so desperately wants to be. So I think the redemption arc is going to be big for him if that's what they're going for. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Just as long as he keeps the mustache.
Yeah. I think it's sweet.
I think you could almost build up to something to where, depending on what they do with Death Riders and Mox, maybe have him be the guy who, nobody can beat Mox. Everyone has tried, no one can do it. So finally, you do a segment where with, the Bucks and Kenny going to, him just saying, we need you to do this. Have him be the only one left. And I think, you could almost, if you look at it, you could almost do something with Swerve in him again. You could revisit that again.
That's always something you can put back on the table for sure.
Because, hey, who doesn't love seeing a good murder on pay-per-view?
Hey, Murder, She Wrote. You bring that up, and again, here I go with my comparisons, because this is, as I've been saying for weeks on end, this is a combination of the NWO and Nexus because of the more aggressiveness. And the NWO lost their power to Sting, who at this point in the early stages of the NWO takeover had a falling out with WCW and was just some guy in the background. Hangman right now is just that guy in the background. So I could absolutely see it be that he is the savior of it all, the original, the one of the pillars of AEW that come to save the day and take back AEW for the greater good and all the fun stuff. So I like that a lot. However, to get back to the match, I love that Jay White got a win. I love that Jay White's gaining momentum. I love the way that this thing finished. They're countering fucking every goddamn finish left and right. He's getting out of an ankle lock, goes to a roll through, ends up hitting the Blade Runner out of nowhere, gets the win. It's 5 wins over, I want to say, over Hangman right now, stemming back all the way back from the New Japan days. Excellent stuff.
Fantastic.
Great.
Anything less than a 4, we're shitting on Uncle Dave.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Back.
Hey, I plan on doing that anyway. So.
Hey.
I'm sure.
That's just how it is. Really quickly, after the match, Jay White goes up to the ramp to celebrate. Hangman is literally fucking running after him, lays him out. Christopher Daniels comes out to stop him. Apparently, he lays out Christopher Daniels. And from what I'm hearing, this is going to set up a match with Christopher Daniels versus Hangman Adam Page. So that's hilarious. But before we get into the next one, what is next for Jay White?
I was gonna ask a similar question, but I didn't kind of want to go off on a tangent.
Let's
but
go
I
on
was
a
gonna
tangent.
say, what do you think is the end goal, basically, that they want Jay White to achieve in AEW? Because, I mean, I could see a couple options, but I want to see more. I want to know or think about more. So I'm curious to what you guys answer to this.
Did we throw him back in the Continental Classic?
Former G1 Climax winner. But then again, I feel like, and we're going to talk about him as soon as we're done with this one, I feel like the guy that got the big win over Will Ospreay should probably beat Okada. But at the same time, Jay White he's a big star. He's a major asset to this company so far. At least I feel he can be a bigger one. And I don't want to go feeding him to Moxley, you know what I mean, and just have him lose, because I feel like there's gonna just wasted momentum. Danny Garcia just won the TNT title, so I don't want to go that route.
You know, it's getting Keshta or Keshta
Don't want
maybe.
to put him against the Keshta.
Well, they
Who's
haven't
got
yet.
trios right now?
What was that?
Who's got trios right now?
Trio Death Riders.
Uh,
But see, you say no about Takeshita. I say why not?
I agree with you, Ma. I'm saying do it to Keshta.
Because I don't want to see Jay lose, and I really want to see Takeshita and Shingo.
I do too, and I feel like you could do that well after. You know what I mean? Like, because that's going to be at Wrestle Dynasty. What about So Wrestle Dynasty is the show after Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Kingdom.
So
After Wrestle Kingdom.
why not do it the fucking Dynamite after? You know what? Like, what's the like how New Japan does the what's their it's the New Year's Dash. The New Year's Dash show, you never know what's going to happen there, and at the same time in WWE, you never know what's going to happen the Monday after WrestleMania. So I think it's an opportunity. You get all the great stuff that we're going to see from the collaboration with New Japan, and then you have the opportunity to take another New Japan, keep that feel and vibe still going, and there you go. Have an opportunity to have him lose it then. And then again, it's a lengthy run. It's a lengthy run. He gets to fucking defend it in Japan. I'm sure he's going to go somewhere in December, maybe go to England or something like that and make some defenses out there.
What you could even do, have an initial match at World Ends with Takeshita and Jay White. Don't have a clear winner.
Fuckery.
Maybe you do, the double pin.
Fuckery.
Hey.
Or maybe you have it end in a no contest, something like that. I know we don't like that to see that, but the way I see it, if it can be done the right way, it can work. So that way, you still get Takagi versus Takeshita. You still get that. And then maybe later on we get, Jay White versus Takeshita again, where this time there's got to be a winner.
Double or nothing.
Hey, Double or Nothing. When is Double or Nothing? February, right?
May.
May. Holy shit.
May.
Pretty far
No,
out.
yeah.
Revolution.
Then again,
Whatever is in between. Yeah, Revolution. Yeah.
we've stretched stuff out before, but there you go.
Which will be here this year.
Oh, hey. There we go. There you go.
Oh,
Do it
yeah,
in LA.
crypto.
That's right. Do it in LA. I like it.
I
like
gotta
it a
go to
lot.
that one.
Staples Center.
Let's go. Speaking of things that we all liked and is already getting the clamoration and the love that it absolutely deserves, Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay comes out wearing black, kind of showing off that dark side that I'll do whatever I got to do to win. And Kyle Fletcher, and I'm gonna say it, and some people are either gonna give me some shit for it or not. Channeling his Randy Orton, his inner Randy Orton. It's exactly what I kept thinking when I was watching him out there. But this match was it was brilliant. It was sheer brilliance from the back and forth that Will Ospreay and him delivered to when Will had got landed on his neck. It was the tombstone. That's right. After the tombstone, the entire dynamic of the match had changed. Which, by the way, I'm overglossing it, and I don't want to do that. They had this planned spot where Kyle Fletcher jumps from the apron to the steel steps that are maybe 2 feet away from the ring itself, and he is zoning in his spot. And he's zoning it. He just wants to make sure, because he's super protective. This is not a knock. This is not a knock on Kyle Fletcher. The overall protectiveness, just to get the spot perfect, just to get the overall shock factor, all of it was excellent. The spot itself was perfect. He hits literally, you couldn't hit any better spot on those fucking steps. He took a big old scrape on the side of his legs for a good measure. And then again, the entire dynamic of the match changed. Will Ospreay's heart refuses to give out, but he's got no power behind his shots. Kyle Fletcher is literally just like, go ahead, keep hitting me, and it just nothing happens. He absolutely folds him with a lariat, hits him with a haluva kick, and then there's a brainbuster off the top rope, and Kyle Fletcher picks up the win. And this is how you build a star. This is how you make a kid that has some momentum, and you put him into the fast lane where he has now got the ball and he's running with it. Will Ospreay is obviously going to have to be off of television for a couple of weeks. Guess what?
Swear to God, he better not be back next week.
Yeah, please. He needs to be off for at least a couple of weeks. Don't bring him back till December if possible. You know what I mean? And that lane that Will Ospreay filled is now wide open for Kyle Fletcher. And I'm loving it. I'm already going as far as saying he has to be the guy to beat Okada. You know what I mean? We're talking about one of the greatest tournament wrestler, one of the greatest Japanese import, as they ever said, or export, I should say, as he likes to proclaim himself. You started by doing this. You finish by creating a mega star when he beats Okada for the Continental title.
Agreed completely.
Yeah.
It's easy sometimes when you make a whole lot of sense. Anything about anybody want to gloss on the match? Is there anything that Fletcher needs to tweak? Anything at all?
No, I think he's headed in the right direction.
He's the man.
Even at the media scrum, he he had all the right answers. He let Don do a good portion of the talking, but when he did talk, he had the right things to say. So,
love it.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, keep the gas on him.
Keep it burning. I like that. All right. Things that we like. Everybody was excited for it. I'm one of them. Call me the Stooge. Mariah May, and of course Mina Shirakawa's the AEW title celebration, champagne celebration. So of course you're hating on it. It was very crap and lackluster, but it was meant to be a gag and a gimmick. Again, another thing that could have happened on Dynamite. More people watching. If you're gonna make me wait for pay-per-view, put him. I hate being the dog, but put him in something skimpier. You know what I'm saying? I hate doing it, but I'm gonna say it like that, just to be an a-hole, just for today. It's literally like this. Like Mina's all about having fun and actually celebrating, and that's when Mariah grabs the champagne bottle. She goes to try to hit her. Mina sees her. She's like, "Nah, that ain't happening." And kicks the fucking bottle out of her hand. They fall through a table. I can't even say they went through two. They fall through a table because they missed one, had to go through the other one. Thank God. And that's just kind of it. That's kind of it. Mina gets up. She's all screaming. She's bleeding from the mouth. Kisses Mariah May on her forehead before being escorted away. We're obviously getting a title match between them. I really don't think Mina needs to beat her for the title. So I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody know?
It'll be fine. Mariah's been on this absolute tear as a heel. She's been very dominant. You know that this lady slapped her own mama, for goddamn sakes. You know, so the writing was on the wall that she was going to turn on Mina. But you know, Mina, being as crafty as she is, she was ready for it.
Yeah,
and she absolutely kicked the dog shit out of that bottle with those heels on, which was cool. You know, I think this match is going to be really, really good, given that they were tag team partners. So there's obviously history there. There's a story there, with both of them being well versed in the strong style of Stardom.
Oh yeah, dude.
This shit is going to crack a skull, probably.
It's going to be. Oh yeah, for sure. It's somebody might just get real hurt, real bad.
If they could save this for World's End, this match will be top notch.
I think maybe we could make it. I think we can make it that far. Maybe, just maybe.
Oh, we're gonna get it. That winner is coming.
Probably.
Ooh, okay. I could do that too. Make it a TNT thing. I dig it. Or TBS television. Daniel Garcia, Jack Perry, TNT title. My favorite saying right now. The writing was on the wall. Jack Perry was his reign without the Bucks around had to come to an end. I feel like that's going to be the similar story for Okada, but Okada still is just Okada at the end of the day. So he still has a lot behind him. But in this instance, this was a rivalry that has been kind of building over the weeks. We seen last week on Dynamite that Daniel Garcia tied Jack Perry to a fucking chair as he beat up his van, which I don't know why he beat up his van and not him, but I digress. And then we get into the match itself. Danny Magic is on commentary. He was half like a big brother and half a commentator. So like I hate when he does that because it kind of really threw me off. But other than that, it was a fine match. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. Jack Perry is truly slowly coming into his. I wouldn't even say slowly. He's coming into his own. The kid his work rate went from being I have to just be a tag team guy to I can hold my own in a singles match, to the point where I'm even saying send him back to Japan if you can, because it did him some wonders. Give him another 6 months out there. Have him run the G1 if possible, maybe Best of Super Juniors. And imagine how much better he can be when he comes back. But that's just my opinion.
No, I actually agree with you because, this whole run as the scapegoat, it did what it needed to do. It was a good run to reestablish Jack as, a character outside of the whole Jungie persona. Mm-hmm. It kind of washed the muck off the whole Pepsi Phil situation to an extent, even though it's still getting brought up to this day for some.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
Dumbass reason. But if we all kind of saw that without the Bucks, he was probably going to lose the title, and sure enough, it happened. So, what's next? Send him back to Japan for a bit. Have him running strong.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. There we go. It's perfect. Based out of LA. Go back home.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not going to, keep him in AEW for a bit, have him come back to New Japan. It wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't think we got Best of Super Juniors. Did that happen already? I think that happened.
Already happened.
Yeah, that already happened.
Yeah, it's normally a summer thing.
Give me Jack Perry and Zack Sabre Jr. Give me that.
Hey. Now we're talking.
Hey, I like that.
Now we're talking.
I kind of want to see that. But you know what? I can't. I loved it. My dude, Daniel Garcia, won it. As you know, he was going to. There was
Good boy,
never
DG.
any doubt. You know, I think you could run the story when the Bucks eventually do come back. You know, because you know they're probably gonna come back as faces. You know, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
You could run a story where Jack Perry kind of feuds with the Bucks and just says, "Hey, you left us here.
Yeah.
We needed you, and you left." So maybe what you do to build on what you said, Mo, you have Jack Perry go back to Japan, do his thing there, and then when the Bucks come back, have him lay out the Bucks.
Ooh. I like that.
I mean, one person feuding against the Bucks, to me, it could be done. And you have the storyline and have him just say, "Hey, you weren't there when we needed you."
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, you can have something like that.
You're gonna mess up all the people that hate the Elite. They're like, do we cheer the Bucks? You know, do we cheer Jungle Boy that he laid out?
What do we do?
Why you do it?
They're gonna be so fucked up, and it's gonna be funny.
That's why you do it.
That's why you do it.
What I'm wondering
I'll book
is
it.
who's going to be Daniel Garcia's first big defense with the TNT title.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen?
As soon as the Bills season ends,
Oh my god.
get Josh Allen in the ring. Do it.
This is all hilarious.
Do it.
Do it
Buffalo
now.
versus Buffalo. Book it.
Book it.
Do it now.
Put it right in the Bills Stadium.
Comedy. In deadass reality though, as far as like dudes in the I got it, there's not really a TNT division. Fuck, that's a great question.
I guess
What's Mark
they wanted
Briscoe
a
doing?
good time because they're getting ready to go into the tournament, so you're gonna occupy some guys there. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, he's obviously not gonna go right into a big feud, but maybe you bring some of those guys back we haven't seen in a while. AR Fox,
Hey,
Kyle O'Reilly.
have Kyle O'Reilly do something. Maybe have Kip Sabian do fucking something. This would be a good chance to bring Sammy G back to Dynamite.
Oh, when him doesn't have the concussion anymore.
Oh, concussed. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, as we're already saying, Danny Garcia did end up retaining. There was to go towards the end of it, they were throwing slaps at each other until Danny Garcia chopped the absolute dog shit out of Jack Perry. Jack just kind of smiled at him. There's the pile drive. There are many pile drivers in this one, and then Garcia sank in the Dragon Tamer, wrenched back, ended up getting a tap out win. I want to say this is his first AEW title, period.
Correct.
So congratulations to DG.
Technically, he was the pure champion,
Ring of Honor.
owned by AEW. but-
Hey, come on, semantics.
AEW presents Ring of Honor.
Attaboy. Now we're talking. You know what? I didn't expect this to be as good as it was. At least I thought it was good. Konosuke Takeshita versus Ricochet, AEW International title. They have unleashed Ricochet since he's arrived here in AEW. He is far from the whatever version that we got in WWE, which again is not a total disrespect. He was toned down, maybe not so much at NXT, but as soon as he got to the main roster, he was completely toned down. And this feels like, I didn't want to say NXT Ricochet. I did want to say maybe PWG kind of, maybe even you can go as far as saying Prince Puma kind of vibe. It felt like he was unleashed. But then again, when you're working with somebody like a Takeshita, I can absolutely see it that way. This all kinds of high flying, massive Don Callis chant. Always love those. Got to call those out every single freaking time. But the reality of the matter is Konosuke Takeshita is going to be the best international champion AEW has had in a long minute, and I don't see him really losing this belt anytime soon. I don't know anybody who's really gonna beat him for it. Like I said, unless you have an Okada, unless he loses it to somebody in New Japan, I don't really see anybody who's going to take it off of him.
My absolute, and it's realistically a dream at this point because I don't know if it could happen. If Kota Ibushi could somehow get his shit together and give us that
please.
old Kota Ibushi, and it's such a long shot because the injuries have piled up.
Like
I know he wants to come back with Kenny and do a Golden Lovers run, which is still fantastic too. But to have Takeshita and Ibushi for that title would be fucking
yes, sir.
The dream, and right now it's just a dream.
Oh gosh, I love that dream. And you bring up Kota, and I immediately think of Kenny, and I'm just like, if he's gonna have a one-off with Gabriel Kidd, is it just a one-off? Is he anywhere near able to come back? Can we get something out of him? I feel like it has to be somebody in that upper echelon.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like Kenny and Kota have been training their asses off. There's even a picture of, there's been pictures on Kota's social medias of them training. So
yes.
I guess we'll see that first match how Kenny does. But then again, I know if he wasn't in any condition to wrestle, he wouldn't come back. So he must be at least good enough to go. So we'll see where we're at. As far as Kota, same boat.
Right.
I know those injuries were pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
The last match I remember that we all watched was him against Marufuji, and that was sad.
Oh yeah. It was. Yeah. I want to say, didn't he break both of his ankles or something?
He already had a broken ankle going.
That's right.
And he broke the other one.
That's what it was, and that's Kota. That's always been Kota. He was the Iron Man of wrestling for ages, and Father Time caught up to him.
Big time.
I got one.
Go D.
Takeshita versus the one, the only, everyone's favorite murder grandpa, Minoru Suzuki.
Hey, give me that one just for some fun. Because I don't need him winning, but just give me that one just for some fun.
Go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fucking have that on like New Year's Dash.
I think Suzuki's gonna wrestle forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gonna wrestle forever. Because how long did how old was Liger when he retired?
He was like mid-50s, 56.
I could have sworn he was in his 60s, but okay. I believe the 50s more than who was the old Muda? How long Muda wrestled into his 70s? I think.
Muda's like 65.
Oh, he's only 60. I'm over here
and
aging the shit out of him.
Just retired.
Yeah,
I'm aging the shit out of him. Poor guy. I apologize. Speaking of somebody who
dude that did shows for GCW and TNA.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. You know the guy I'm talking about. I can't remember his name, but he's like 70 and he still wrestles.
Mike Johnson.
Him.
Mike Johnson. Okay. Good God, that's not
Jackson. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it was a Jackson.
Like it's like Action Mike Jackson something.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let's do just for the fun.
Suzuki is the Keith Richards of pro wrestling. He's gonna keep going forever.
Yeah, he definitely is. Suzuki's only 56, so he can go. He can go
another 20 years.
Suzuki's got time.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. We're all telling the murder grandpa what he can do. Yeah, the fuck right.
He's gonna do whatever he wants.
Facts. He's gonna do exactly. That's exactly what it is. He's gonna do whatever he wants and only whatever he wants. Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. I think this is going to be another one of those questions we go into it, but this was a dominant showing by Bobby Lashley, as it should have been, because that's the idea here. Swerve is been just giving everybody everything. All the momentum, not all the momentum, but all the work. You know what I mean? He's taken so much of most of these matches, and for the first 6 or 7 minutes, he was getting fucking just ragdolled. Just manhandled like a motherfucker. And then it kind of slows down. It gets a little bit more into his favor, kind of because they're on the outside and he can use the arena to his advantage. We're back on the outside. Swerve Strickland gets the MVP's face, kind of delays this whole thing. It's belly to belly. There's a spear through the barricade. Ends up hitting another spear before putting him in the Hurt Locker. Swerve Strickland then just passed. I want to say he passes out. Yeah, passes out. We've been talking about who's next for this and who's next for that and what's next for this and trying to help figure out where the landscape of AEW is going. And I'm inclined to do the exact same frickin' thing with Bobby Lashley. You beat one of AEW's top stars, which I don't have a problem with that. Let me make that abundantly clear. I don't have a problem with top guys losing. I have a problem with there not being a plan to why this top guy is losing. I understand that Bobby Lashley is a big name. He's been doing this a while. Multiple time TNA champion, Impact champion, whatever the fuck you want to call. Heavyweight champ, world champ, ECW champ. I don't think he was world champ, but ECW champ. He's a star. He's a name. He's a face. I dig it. But what the fuck are you going to do with him now at the expense of Swerve Strickland?
And at the expense of who else?
But then again, that you say that, my thought process is people need to be fed to John until they figure out if it's going to be a Hangman that's the savior or Darby is going to be the savior or whatever have you. Is Bobby Lashley going to be somebody that's going to be fed to a world champion? Probably. Is he going to get fed to a Takeshita? Is he going to get fed to a Okada?
My issue with this whole bringing Lashley in thing, what does Lashley add to AEW long term?
Fuck all.
I'm a long term guy. I need bring somebody in play the long game.
Yep.
Lashley's, I don't know if he's 50 yet. If he's not, he's got to be damn near close.
Yeah, something like that.
47.
Holy shit.
How many good years does he really have?
Maybe just his contract.
I mean,
a year?
Long game, what does he have? Is he the guy you want to put your company on a 47-year-old guy? No.
I
don't see what this does long game.
I don't want to
48.
I don't want to
We're way wrong.
I don't want to cut you off and kind of make this whole but here's a good not unless you want to be on the same level as an Impact or a TNA. You know what I mean? If you don't want to progress, I'm going to use big words here. If you don't want to progress into that upper echelon of pro wrestling, then yeah, you have a Bobby Lashley to help run your company. Or not, I wouldn't say, but to lead your company. That's what I should say. And I don't think we're at that point now with guys like Jon Moxley at the helm, and the possibilities of a Hangman, of an Okada, of another MJF run. There's so many other people. There's so many other people.
Exactly.
How would you feel about Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley taking the belts off of Private Party?
There we go. Now that's a thing I could see, and I could see that being a usable thing for them.
Kill him dead.
Shelton Benjamin and Ricochet. Put Ricochet with the Hurt
It doesn't. But we've seen that already.
I was hoping to kind of tie the loose end of Bobby Lashley, where you were going to put him. I feel like World Championship, too much. Tag title, maybe that's something you might want to have him do.
I could see TNT, but not now.
Title at best.
Yeah, but not for a year, no? I can't see him have any gold outside of a tag title for a minimum of a year.
Yeah, I agree.
It's same old story we get from AEW. We overload the roster, hope somebody hits, and kind of rock with the momentum. And speaking of somebody who hits pretty fucking hard, Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy, AEW title. This is the main event. And I don't want to sound like Jim Cornette. And I'm going to do my best not to, so I'm not going to try to make fun of anybody from indigenous countries. But Jon Moxley fucking just towers Orange Cassidy. Made him look like a fucking teenager amongst a grown-ass man. John is a massive motherfucker.
Sure is.
Just, and the use of that was on another level. The sheer and utter brutality that Orange had to endure, being busted open early, thrown everywhere possible, being hit with the guy's wearing sweatpants and kicking your ass. Like, the only way to make it fucking worse is you have the fucking American flag ones, you know, they break my wrist and walk away, you know, like.
Okay, now watch this. I'm just gonna break the wrist and walk away. Break the wrist, walk away.
Jeez. If it was that kind of guy, like that's what it felt like. Like you're getting your ass beat by that kind of guy.
Yeah, this is probably a typical Saturday for Mox. Go out and murder somebody.
And again, it's not like Orange Cassidy is a bad choice for this, but it's one of those. It's where it didn't feel that believable. We didn't feel that Orange was really going to be the guy to win. And then when it kind of slowly maybe was going to get there, here comes the rest of the Moxley murder crew, if you will. And again, like I keep saying, that's where we're at. As soon as the momentum happens, it changes because here comes all the goons. But at the same time, we got everybody else. Tomohiro Ishii, Rocky Romero, Kyle O'Reilly, kind of evens it out. It looked like Marina Shafir was going to be all alone to cause some damage. Willow Nightingale comes in, makes the save. She's returned. Thank God for her. But it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Mox was stumbling around. He grabs the ref, which allows Wheeler Yuta to fly in, hit the Pasaka knee, comes in, follows up with a Death Rider, picks up the 1-2-3, still AEW champion. Immediately after the match, they have this like green chemical, and as a guy that, you know, cleans for a living, and I'm like, that you're not supposed to put that stuff on open wounds. And they're like pouring it all over him, and I'm like, God, I just hope that's like some food coloring or whatever. Maybe it's some soapy water. I don't know. I just kind of got all nervous for, you know, bacterias and such, just because I'm a fucking freak. Hangman, this is where I'm starting to think that maybe it's going to be Hangman, because Hangman comes down and he's got this chair in his hand, and it looks like he's going to just start wailing everybody, and he goes right up to Wheeler Yuta and just bam, right in the face. And I loved it. I thought it was great, and it looks like he's going to go to Mox, and no. All of a sudden, Christian Cage hits the ring, hits the kill switch on Moxley. Hangman picks up the briefcase, looks at it, fucking takes all day forever to give it back to fucking Christian. Ref comes down, Switchblade Jay White prevents him from fucking doing anything. It's a giant clusterfuck. Nobody does anything. Death Riders scurry away. That's it. Christian still has the thing. So it's like we're setting up all these weird ones. Jay White got his revenge for him forcing a loss against Hangman. So now that is a storyline possibly over, Christian cashing in is there, but I don't know if he's actually going to. Like it feels like somebody is going to continuously interfere for his interference, or he procrastinates. So I don't know where to go on that. Again, we keep talking about what's next for Jon Moxley and the Moxley murder crew. So I guess I want to go with that one. What's next for them? And is Christian Cage ever going to cash this thing in?
He probably will, but he's probably going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
It might be funny if he makes that a lifelong career thing.
Yes.
That he just carried around that clipboard, and every once in a while he'll come out and like he's going to cash it in, and right before he cashes it in, something else happens, and he can keep that gimmick going for forever.
Yeah,
we can.
like Jericho's list.
What's going on with Luchasaurus? Like, is he still in the hospital or?
Mm.
Him almost dead. Not quite. Nah, there hasn't been an update in a while, but last that we all heard, he was on oxygen.
Ooh.
He may not be back then.
Yeah, no news is kind of bad news at this point.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Like they're trying
Which
to
is
keep it
really
quiet,
unfortunate.
that pneumonia is nothing to play with.
for sure.
So, do have to bring up this last little bit of nonsense. As the Death Riders are scurrying away, we head to the back. They actually pulled up in this truck. The truck was parked kind of differently, and they're going right for it. And all of a sudden, we just hear a car engine going bananas, and a car slam right into the front end of that truck, completely obliterating both the car the car that was driving and the truck. Absolutely split down the middle. It was ridiculous, and Darby pops out and is after they stole a car, by the way, the Moxie murder crew stole a car, took off, and Darby comes out bleeding from the head. I'll get you guys, or come back here, whatever the hell he was saying. I forgot. But it looks like Darby's next. But again, it's one of those things where, and I hate saying it, it's the little guy that makes me think that that's not going to be the AEW original to actually win, because Moxley's a big, powerful son of a bitch.
He is.
Yeah. If Darby is the guy, in which we've all heard the rumors that he is, he's going to need to assemble an army.
Yes.
The Darby army.
The Darby army.
He's
Army, maybe.
an army of Darbys.
Hey.
if you will.
TSK trademark that right now. Darby Army.
The Darby army. But they're going to have to build up some guys over the next couple of weeks, because they've just made their entire team of faces look like absolute dorks over the last couple of months.
Facts.
Yep, absolutely.
So they're gonna have to do something about that.
Go ahead, dude.
I think if you're gonna have it be Darby, it can't be on the first attempt. There need to be multiple matches with him and Mox.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm doing this, if I'm booking this in my head. The first one, do it at World's End, and have him just, he takes down Darby and just starts nailing him with blows over the back of the head, to the point where the referee eventually just calls for the bell, just calls it. Have it end referee stoppage, and eventually lead it back to where you do like the casino battle royal or whatever fucking gimmick match. Then he gets a second opportunity, because Mox says, I'm not giving you another chance. To the point where, so he gets an opportunity, he gets the poker chip, he gets whatever. That's when he gets it, because you need a big pay-per-view for this. Have it be, you could even do it in fucking Wembley next year. Have Mox hold it that long. Make Mox the Roman Reigns of AEW, to that style title reign where you cannot beat him. And then eventually, when you finally have that one guy that does it, thank God it wouldn't be Cody this time.
Hey.
But I digress. Then you have your huge star, which honestly, I think Darby's your guy.
Again, all signs are pointing towards Darby Allin. I don't hate it. I feel like it could be something different. But again, it could be as simple as giving it to having Darby go, you know what I mean? Maybe just before the new year or just after the new year. Maybe we go as far as waiting for, Double or Nothing, because you're 100%. You can drag this out forever. Mox is that dominant of a champion. His entire crew is dominant. You know what I mean? Again, the NWO lasted for quite a bit before they got overtaken the first time and then just hung out forever and ever and ever. So that's AEW Full Gear. Next week we're going to be doing Survivor Series. That's going to be a fun one. But overall, I'm going to say this was a good show. It wasn't the greatest AEW show they ever produced. There was a couple of really good standout matches. I actually really did enjoy the Mercedes Moné match. I absolutely loved the Kyle Fletcher Will Ospreay match. The main event was fine, and a pleasant surprise from Ricochet and Takeshita. So I love it. Like I said, we'll be back next week. I'm going to say it's next Saturday. Next Saturday for Survivor Series. So it's all good stuff.
No, I'll say this. At some point within the next few years, Kyle Fletcher will be AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
God, I hope so.
And if he doesn't stay in he's going to be a World Heavyweight Champion wherever he goes. Stays in AEW, goes WWE, wherever that man goes, he's going to be a future champion.
I love him.
So there is something special about that dude.
Hell yeah, there is. All right, so that's, like I said, that's going to do it for us. But before we get on up out of here, let's talk to the boys. It's been a minute. Well, that's not true. I've been talking to DC and Harold and Rob every other day. But Harold hasn't been here in a minute. So, Harold, what's happening with you? Where can we find you with the TSK, the Two Sweet Click Adventures? Where are we eating this week?
You know what? We're eating out in Santa Barbara County.
Hey.
Solvang. We recently dropped a video where we just did a quick little montage of Solvang. The next couple of weeks, we're going to be delving into a few of the businesses out there. We got some Danishes. Ooh. We got some Oakwood steak houses on the menu. We got lots of things coming at you. The Two Sweet Click Adventures. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, if you like Los Angeles area foods, events, film locations. Check us out. Too sweet.
Too sweet indeed. DC, we did the wrestling round table. We did what else did we do? We did Max. There's been all kinds of stuff happening. What's the haps? What's going down? Pundit dropping?
Pundit dropped.
There it is.
As of now.
As of now.
It is back. It took a minute, but it's back. I was happy with what with the report. I decided, you know what? Screw it. Scrapped what I had. Started fresh. Happy with it. Gonna be doing more. And it's so good to be back.
It's so good to be back. Love it. Absolutely love it. Rob, again, we've been doing the Max Wrestling, but deep into the heart of wrestling with the Black Hearts and all the other fun stuff. What's been going down?
My goodness gracious, we've had quite the month. So, we were recently on the season finale of Uncaged with DC and Mike. We did the Wrestling Roundtable where we covered the final days of John Cena, I guess. Some potential dream matches and some fond memories that we have. Deep into the heart of wrestling, we did predictions for this show that we're reviewing here. So we've actually got an episode coming out. I believe it's going to come out this week. We kind of took a swerve because we swerve when we drive over there. Black Hearts and all. We went to the pop culture side of things. Ooh. We talked about the infamous Diddy and the case. No Diddy. The court cases that the legal trouble that he's had over the years, the current situation that he's in now. We did a reaction to the infamous season 2 Making the Band scene where he made the guys walk 3 hours in New York for some cheesecake and walk back. That was something. Good so that episode, that I hear it's fantastic cheesecake.
I don't know about
that. Was it Juniors?
Yes, it was Juniors, actually.
It was.
It is fire, bro.
Man.
Okay,
New York, then.
Apparently a 3-hour walk is nothing.
Yeah, it's worth it. So that episode should be dropping soon. We're going to be doing predictions for Survivor Series, and we'll be doing predictions as well for NXT Heatwave. Our next Origins episode will be on Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. That probably won't be dropping until sometime in December. But as far as that goes, you can catch us on Max. You can see us anywhere. But anything Blackhearts, you want to catch us at Linktree /Blackhearts EBZ3. kicking it with the TSK, any of our socials, you want linktree/KITW
Juan. Absolutely love it. So I teased it at the beginning of the episode. I do have an update, and the update is the TSK takeover continues through promo series. So you will see us back this coming Thursday covering promo series 9, Shoot to Kill. The boys are actually, for the first time, rather than participating in promo exhibitions, they will be, I guess, just a part of hosting other people's promo exhibitions and trivia nonsensory. So make sure you catch us on Thursday, which is where you can find me and all the other fun stuff that I'm going through each and every Thursday on Max Wrestling. TSK, as you can see, the boys are picking up dirt here. We got this one happening. We are gonna do Survivor Series with the fun. We might say it's not set in stone just yet. But it's a possibility that we may end up doing NXT, was it Heat Wave? Because NXT has been pretty fire, so I kind of want to get back on that one. So there's all kinds of fun stuff there. Check us out, Max Wrestling UK, SMR Podnet, the whole whatever. And, of course, come back right here to the Max Wrestling YouTube page for all kinds of stuff. More TSK, more Max Wrestling, and God only knows what else. The footy is coming back, too, as the breaks of school are happening. And, of course, all that fun stuff. So the only way to be a part of it, follow the socials. Hit the subscribe right here, and we'll catch y'all next time. Well, hell, we'll catch y'all next week when we come back to review Survivor Series. So hopefully it's a good one. We'll see y'all there. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Hope it's a good week. Happy Thanksgiving. It's early for y'all. Too sweet, me boys. And we'll see y'all down the line.
Oh.